Guys, I gotta go up. Hey, welcome to another episode of One Fall WrestleCast live. We've not been here in like 3 weeks. I was out of town. I was sick. It's the new year. Um, yeah, man, a lot going on in the world of wrestling too. We're really excited to talk about. Can't wait to get in here and do it. Hey, I don't know if you guys know or not, but Dewey came back. The Rock. You smell what the Rock is cooking, huh? Because I certainly didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just see where the day takes us.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you?
What's going on?
What do you mean? What's going on?
I'm great. I'm
That's good.
fantastic.
I'm glad to hear it. Hey, so I thought that our listeners, our folks, okay, would appreciate our special guest this evening.
Special guest.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome friend of the show, Derek Wright.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for welcoming me back as a friend of the show. Right
Man, I
there.
miss this
Thank
guy.
you. Thank you.
You see that guy? I missed that.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
You're the
You
best.
know, it was real. We were like side by side for the longest time, and then like it felt like I had you by my side, Walt, and that's like warm and cozy too.
Yeah. I much prefer Tom by my side.
There was like a weird, like Derek-shaped hole.
I mean, this conversation's getting weird.
It is.
It's good to see you guys again. I'm glad to be back. Thanks for letting me back into the fold.
You know, this hat doesn't look dirty until I put it on. To be
I
on this
promise
podcast.
you,
Isn't that
the
the worst?
check
Put it
will
on
not
and it
bounce
looks all
if you
grease-stained.
go ahead and get that through the next couple days. I don't guarantee that for months, though. So take care of that, would you?
I didn't hear not a thing. Me and Tom were having a conversation about.
That's
Derek
fine.
Hat.
That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just go with it. Yeah, we're good. We're good. You're paid.
You guys
Come back.
You guys catch up because I know it's been a while since we've seen friend of the show Derek Wright.
Oh
Well, I
no.
mean, You know who we have seen in friend of the show Derek Wright's stead. We've seen friend of the show Pat Martin
We have
twice.
Has he been
Okay.
around?
So
One time he was even at work cooking,
yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
slanging
that-
steaks.
that was a
Wow.
thing.
It was
It was
gorgeous to watch.
He made time
actually,
for us.
He actually
you know?
just muted himself, and we just watched him. We just watched him cook.
Yeah, we gave commentary on him cooking. For
Walt was
10
like,
solid minutes.
"Should I hide him?" And I was like, "No, let him cook."
Let him cook. That's
Let
friend
him
of the show,
cook.
Pat Martin.
Friend of the
It
show
was-
Pat
it
Martin.
was-
He might be new third co-host of the show Pat Martin here pretty soon.
It's interesting because I'm still in
We
the
have to
banner.
keep doing Fridays.
So,
he might be.
yeah. We'll have to talk about that.
If he has to keep doing Fridays, he might be. Anyway,
Listen, in all seriousness, pal, it's glad to have you back. And
Glad to be here,
glad
fellas. I'm glad to be here.
We're kicking off 24 right. Let's see if we can go like 50 for 50 in 24, all three of us. How do you think we can pull that off?
I mean, I probably.
I mean, as long as you don't
I
get
make
Kevin.
time for it.
Basically, you're the sick one.
I don't like to not be home at 8:30 p.m. on a Monday. So if I have any say in it whatsoever, yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I just like going to bed sometimes.
God damn it.
No, actually, you know what it is, Tom. Do you know what it is? The Penguins play a lot of Monday night games.
Yeah, they're playing right now, but unfortunately, I can't see them on television. So you're lucky.
Put it
They
on
play the
television.
Flyers right now. This is crap.
Put it
Do you
on.
have them on TV? Tell me. Yeah, I don't get sports.
No, I have Raw on TV because
Yeah,
I'm an actual.
I have
wrestling
Raw
fan.
too because it's the dude with the muscles from Imperium.
No, I got Chelsea Green and dude or
Yeah, you'll
Piper
have
Niven
Imperium here.
going against
It's
Kana and
Anyways,
Hey, so
Ludwig Kaiser.
a lot going on, man. Hey, is he still doing this? Huh? Like,
No, he hasn't moved his arms at all because his friend is hurt.
Yeah, it's because he's not out yet. He's about to do that.
No, he
listen,
won't.
it's cool. I like it. I like the smugness. It's just too much. It's too
His
much.
head is too small for his body.
No, well, I
It's
mean,
tiny.
JD McDonough's head's too big for his body, so
Well, we should combine the two.
smash them together.
Hey, listen, this needs to be said since you brought up JD McDonough, right? Like, I want to give our truth some motherfucking flowers, okay? If we can just talk about the biggest return of 24 that is being completely overshadowed.
Absolutely, and
It's
especially at
fucking
this
Overshadow?
point.
There's no overshadow.
Especially at this point, like R-Truth has added more to television than all of the other returns combined.
He's Judgment Day. He is Judgment Day, right?
He has added more to television than anybody else,
He absolutely has,
and that includes Randy Orton and
Yeah.
The Rock.
yeah, which I can't believe. I mean, obviously, we're going to talk about that later. I just can't believe that.
We'll talk about that.
That's the main event of this fucking show tonight. I cannot believe that we're going to talk about fucking Rock. We're going to talk about fucking little baby Dewey. Okay,
It's unfortunate.
Dwayne.
I get tired. I get a little tired of it.
I have a lot to say about this.
I can't wait. Listen, I can't wait to get into it. And obviously, if y'all are here right now thinking we're going to talk about The Rock, we're going to do that. It's just going to be a little bit later, so you better buckle up.
I'm gonna knock on
We got a lot of
notches on
Better
the
buckle up,
and
Buttercup.
his excitement for the Rock. It's gonna go down.
a lot of other jagoffs to be named about.
So, listen, this feels right. I just
Does
everything
it?
about this feels right.
Does it?
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah. I'm glad you're here, you little piece of
You
shit.
and that baby,
you know?
you're looking good. You're looking fat white man good.
Hey, thanks, pal. Appreciate you.
You are looking good.
It's almost like you took a page out of my book. I appreciate
you
that.
wish, pal.
I
You wish
appreciate
I like
that.
how
you
nobody
wish you
else
I
looked.
does.
appreciate
You
it.
wish you looked this good, pal.
This is my favorite time of year because it is like nice and warm in my office all year, the whole time. Like it's toasty in here,
Yeah,
and it's like it's just I don't have to put a fan. I'll probably put a fan on at some point, but
Tell me more about Tom.
God, it's good up. This is a good corner of the house right here, buddy.
Wet right there.
Right here.
All right. Listen.
Weird.
You want to talk about things that are weird, right? So, last night I laid down here on the couch in the man cave after taking in the Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins. The AFC East championship game, if you will, baby. I came over and came back home because I was over at the neighbor's house. Came back home and I posted up and I started watching some wrestling. Okay, we watched some SmackDown, and then I decided, hey man, I'm gonna go ahead and watch Collision. So I pushed play. I'm really excited because the shows have been good.
Sure.
Obviously we're in a reboot. We're just coming out of a pay-per-view, and they're in a creative reboot. We know that. We understand that. So, I mean, hopefully it doesn't take 6 months to get them ramped back up just for them to close out some stories at the pay-per-view, because I'm going to tell you what, this episode of fucking Collision was dog shit, right? Like, at one point I watched the opening segment, and then I was on the goddamn fast forward button for a solid 27 minutes of time, like on the thing. And then I watched a little snippet, and then I was like, nah, I don't give a fuck. Fast forward. And then I watched the biggest, most ridiculous piece of hot garbage that has ever hit television in its entirety in an Adam Copeland wrestling match.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh boy, was that bad?
I didn't even know the chooch that he wrestled.
He wrestled. What was it? The guy that used to be a Varsity Blonde.
Griff Garrison.
Griff Garrison.
Yeah.
Really?
That's
He
great.
wrestled him?
Hey, you know what? I'm glad Griff Garrison's back, but you know what?
Why
He's
would
not
he do
been in a
that?
fucking ring in a year and a half, and
Yeah.
it showed.
Yeah, he's bad. He looks bad. That whole,
And then you mix in the fact that Adam Copeland still thinks he's 37, competing at a high
That's your
level.
boy. I don't know.
That's not my boy.
look, we've gone
That's
up.
a-
Derek, stay off of this. Like, let's not break. Don't break the sense.
Yeah, that's not my boy. All right.
Exactly.
My boy My boy has gone since retired from WWE. Okay, he's gone on to what he's calling himself creative green pastures. Right, Edge is gone. We've been left with the remnants of Edge in the rated R superstar Adam Copeland. Okay, that clearly needed somebody to tell him how to do his job for the last 2 years. All right, because outside of this feud with Christian, he's been absolute hot trash. Okay. And his in-ring fucking work is just pathetic. All right. I didn't know what the fuck that was on Saturday night, but that's not an Adam Copeland / Edge match. Okay.
So can I point out that also, like, the marks on Twitter have all been like, Griff Garrison's got so much more potential than King. What's his first name?
Lexus King.
Lexus King. I'm like, are you kidding me? After one terrible match, this man's not been on TV in a year, and he puts on a terrible match with Adam Copeland, and now you think Griff Garrison has potential? That looked like that was a potential disaster. Not only was it a potential, that was a disaster. Like,
and listen, Griff was really laying in those forearm shivs, right? Whenever Adam Copeland was laying on his back and he had his head cradled, he was really laying them bitches in. They looked stiff as shit. So if they were working, he got me, but they looked stiff as fuck. And from that standpoint, I'm looking at it and I was like, Adam's going to end up with fucking cranked melon again. This is what's going to happen.
Maybe Griff maybe that's what he's trying to do. He's like, I used to love you. Now you suck. Go back to retired. Go back to retired. I hope that's what he was doing, because that's what I'd like to see.
I mean, it's really hard. I wore an Edge t-shirt the other day. I was like, man, it's awesome. And then he was on TV. And then I was like, this poor bastard. Somebody just needs to put him out of his fucking misery. And I think we can all agree that I am like the biggest Edge mark ever.
You really are.
And like,
yeah,
I mean,
that was not good.
Bro, I just continue to see.
The main event also had because that was the match before the main event of Collision. I don't know if you watched the whole main event, but they went to do a sharpshooter on top of the announce table that they've conveniently moved to the side of the ring as though it's 1999 and we're watching Raw. They went to, but they fell off in the sharpshooter spot. They fell off the table.
Jesus Christ, bro! Choo-choo train.
Choo-choo.
No, I don't want to interrupt. No. Go on.
Anyway,
tell me more about the choo.
No, they fell off. Like, so it was a decent match because it was Daniel Garcia versus Swerve.
Wait.
Yeah, I know.
Wait.
Okay.
Just wait. Did I just hear the words decent match and Daniel Garcia used in the same sentence?
Can I explain myself?
You got some splaining to do. Yeah.
All right. So it started out as an okay, decent wrestling match.
Oh, here we go.
Everybody comes out. Daniel Garcia is still not interesting, but he can wrestle.
Here we go.
But he can wrestle. Okay. And then
getting over on you.
And then we stopped him at hold on, but then it fell apart. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
It started okay. It started okay, but then it fell apart. We paused the match entirely, and we stopped exactly so that Prince Nana and Daniel Garcia could dance at each other. So we stopped everything. All momentum comes to a screeching halt. Because we do this in the middle of a wrestling match. Look, you want to do it at the beginning of a wrestling match like you're too cool? Great. Whatever. Or at the end after you win? Great. Okay. Whatever. However, in the middle of this event wrestling match, and Swerve is just like, all right, you guys fucking dance, I guess.
You guys fucking dance.
Anyway, shortly after this quick little dance break, we get a little picture.
Hey, but it was okay when R-Truth and Carmella were doing the 7-second dance break. We were okay with that.
Yeah, because it was a joke. It wasn't the main
Oh,
event.
okay. Well,
Look, I'm not going to put it over as a main event anyway.
Okay,
So shortly
here we
after this,
go.
then we get on top of the table for this sharpshooter spot, and they fell off the table. Like drunk children just fell off the table.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest.
A wonky table.
It was the weird because like
nobody. It was a wonky table.
Yeah, let's.
Oh,
not
okay.
blame
Apparently,
It had
just
wonks
like,
about it.
Anyway, the match really never.
But the match was decent, though, Derek. I mean, I don't know.
It recovered shortly after that. There was this spot of like stupidity. The end of the match was cool.
When they fell off the table, that was cool.
That I made
bro, you are turning into an AEW fan.
He was swerving while he was grabbing.
Tim snuck in there, didn't he?
Dude,
Derek. Tim snuck in and is parading around as Tom right now.
Pulled him out.
That's what it is.
Anyway,
what it is. This is not even hard to identify. This is a Tim. I see it.
I think Ludwig Kaiser killed Kofi.
Oh yeah. Let's change.
Here we go.
Now.
Anyway, look, you can pick on me all you want, but I'm just telling you that the main event was like it started good and the finish was fine, but there was a bunch of nonsense in the middle that was just
nonsense like this.
Yeah, well, some of that and some of this. So yeah, Rampage was shit, or Collision was shit. Rampage was also shit, except for Sky Blue. She's great.
Stop it!
Oh my god!
Stop it!
Not a wrestling.
Stop it.
How long?
If you had a Y chromosome, you would give two shits about Sky Blue.
How long? How long until Sportskeeda starts calling her the female Bray Wyatt on their clickbait articles like they do the female Undertaker with Julia Hart every fucking week?
I mean, like they haven't done it yet because I feel like now that you've said it, they watch our show and
what a bunch of fucking marks.
They're gonna watch it and they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's a great thing. We should call her that."
I'm gonna die.
Oh my god.
We should totally do that, guys. We totally should. But
R.I.P. Bray.
R.I.P. Bray.
We love you, pal.
We do. I hate you guys. I hate you guys so much. So yeah, so Dynamite was. I kind of don't remember what happened. I feel like it was fine. I feel like Dynamite was okay.
Oh, it was fine.
It was great.
It didn't didn't upset me terribly.
Chris Jericho didn't make an appearance.
Kind of watched it. It didn't upset me terribly. But good God, there was a lot of wrestling on SmackDown though. Like weirdly, like not to bring that up or switch the subject, but usually there's not a lot of wrestling.
No, very uncharacteristic.
There was a lot of wrestling on SmackDown for once. I was like,
I mean, if you think about it, we only got a Roman Reigns run-in. We didn't get a 40-minute Roman Reigns opening segment.
We didn't. We only got the run-in, and that I actually kind of really liked that with the whole Nick Aldis thing at the end. Like, we really liked that. Like, I was like, oh, and that's a perfect.
That I'm gonna hate Nick Aldis. How do you guys feel? Like,
I love it.
I don't like it.
Listen,
I don't like him.
I think it's gonna. I don't know, and like I'm fantasy booking, and I know that I've had this conversation with Tom, in the group chat that you're in that you don't read.
That one. Yeah,
it would be amazing if they're using this general manager gimmick for Nick Aldis as a way of getting him to introduce him to the WWE audience to eventually get him in the ring. I think that would be a great vehicle for this.
I just don't care. I don't see that being something that I'm like, oh, all right, yeah. Tell me all about your history, Nick. Like, I mean, he's a big, stocky guy. He fits the part. I get it.
Have you ever watched him? Perform?
Yeah, he was in what, NXT? Or not NXT, I'm sorry, TNA?
No, he was the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion during the
MLW?
pandemic. No, the NWA.
World's Heavyweight Champion.
He was the World's Heavyweight Champion. He carried the 10 pounds of gold.
For like 2 years.
Yeah, like
he and Cody Rhodes back and forth at once. But
that trio of matches was fucking phenomenal. You want to mark
I mean,
out
hey,
there?
I've been wrong before. I'm not
Listen,
going to
you
sit
wanna-
here and say that I'm right now.
Man,
'cause
that
I've
was
been wrong
a
before
fast
about,
back
you
down.
know,
That was a
other-
real fast back down. Who the fuck is Nick Aldis, the world's heavyweight champion?
That's great.
Listen,
you know,
now
but
listen,
I
all-
want to
notable
do
one?
something.
Hey, Derek. all
Literally the
bullshit
only
aside.
notable one in the last decade.
Derek, all bullshit aside. That's false. Derek, no bullshit. Take time this week. Okay, just get on the YouTube and
Watch it
search
every
Cody Rhodes versus Nick Aldis. All right,
Yeah.
just YouTube search it. And I did they have 3, Tom, or did they only have 2?
I think they only had 2 because they had one. The first one, Cody took it off of him,
Yep,
the
and that
second
was it
one, Nick
all
took
in.
it back.
That was it all in.
Fair.
So, and that match was fucking phenomenal.
Wait,
and the second one,
All
was-
in? Is that the one where we had the Royal Rumble with the guy with no legs?
No,
Is that
that
right?
was Double or Nothing.
No, that was all out.
I'm so
No.
glad you brought up the guy with no legs because
It was Double or Nothing.
I was talking about this with my girlfriend the other day about how when AEW started, it was such a mess. But this one time, MJ and I was looking for the clip and I couldn't find it.
When
But
it started,
Well, that was pretty close to the start.
I mean, it was less of a mess when it started than it is now. I
it was.
don't know how you.
Okay, you're right. Anyway, I was
All in was
reminiscing about
fantastic.
how many fun, weird things happened at the beginning. of
Exactly. There
AEW.
you go.
And this was the funnest, weirdest thing because there was a man with no legs in a battle royal. And
Yes.
inside this battle royal, everybody was acting like
we
it was
class the
normal.
fucking joint up around here. It's a battle royale.
All right, a battle royale. And
Good God.
in this battle royale
Uncultured swine.
is a man with literally no legs. And everybody around him is wrestling as though there isn't a man with no legs in the ring,
Hey, you
Can't
told me
lose.
that.
except
Can't
for
lose.
MJF. He looks around and goes, picks this man with no legs up and
Stop
hucks
it.
him out
Stop
of the
it.
ring. It to this day, that's one of the best pieces of wrestling business I've ever seen in my life. Because somebody in a battle royal like snapped out of like the
Battle royale.
battle royale, snapped out of his focus and went,
Neanderthal.
that guy's
Technically,
got
that
no
man
legs."
was not out. I
And he
mean,
picked him up and went.
Derek has a fucking point here, okay? Because the rules clearly state both feet have to hit the ground.
I think that's just the Royal Rumble or the
Ah.
Royale Rumble.
No,
well,
that-
this
that's
Battle
not-
Royale
I know.
No,
clearly had the same rules.
like now
And
you're
nobody
just
said
making
shit
shit
about
up.
nubs. So, I
Well, he wasn't. He didn't get back into the ring.
mean, look at Walt. He's trying not to break right now.
Well, that guy didn't get back into the ring ever. Actually, he never got back into the ring.
No,
we've
no,
never
I-
seen
I've
him
not
since.
seen him and his nubs since.
Yeah, since.
No.
But that one moment to me will live.
I would
in
like for him to
infamy.
crawl out of the ring, under the ring.
5 years later.
We could call it. Listen, instead of Hornswoggle, it's just
Just the
No
guy with
swallow.
legs.
Tony'd be like, I feel like I'm doing the best booking I've ever done. I really feel invigorated creatively. And
I would
myself
be
as a
invigorated
booker,
by that.
I really feel like I'm on another level right now. And
In fact, if MJF does re-sign with AEW,
No Nubs Johnson over here.
that's
I just
exactly
re-signed
that's
him.
what needs to happen. When MJF comes back, he needs to be cutting his comeback promo, and that guy just needs to.
He brings him
crawl
on his
under
back.
the
He's
ring.
on
Hey.
his shoulders.
so.
Like a
Listen,
kid.
speaking of MJF, what do you guys make of the fact that like he lost the AEW championship to Samoa Joe, and then it's been announced that he's going to take some time off, to heal some injuries. He's got some things going on.
Sure.
But then, really strange, like Mark level shit here. AEW removed him from their active roster page. I don't.
That's stupid. That's all internet speculation. That's all stuff to make us marks that talk about it on the weekends give us a little nugget to go up on. I mean, we saw this going weeks ago. I mean, I even brought it up weeks ago that it was obviously Adam Cole that was
Hey,
going to end up being the devil.
But we've
And
been
here we are.
talking. Hey, we've been talking about Adam Cole being the devil since before you realized you were sober.
Yeah, since we knew there might have been a devil that wasn't MJF. To the point that Derek made, that would be the smart booking. However, that's happened 0 times in AEW. 0 times in AEW has been
because they're not that smart, and they've had so much turnover.
It's Tony Khan. There's no they. It's Tony Khan.
They've had so much turnover backstage in prominent key roles. Nobody fucking knows what's going on over there.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's the thing.
Last of all, Tony Khan.
Clearly, MJF is out for a while. Clearly, he has not signed a new contract yet.
Yes, he has.
Allegedly.
No, he hasn't.
You're fucking out of your mind if you think.
I'm telling you right now, those two things are for certain. He has not signed a contract, and he is out for a significant period of time. They have taken him off the roster because he has not signed a contract, and he's not coming to work. Just saying.
Work.
Bullshit. Look, there hasn't been a good work in AEW. It hasn't happened.
Buddy.
It hasn't happened.
This is the most obvious, easy work you could even make.
Man, lots of these things have been obvious and easy, and none of them have come to fruition. Not a single one of them.
Hey, all I know is, I did a cocaine TK spot when Adam Cole and MJF first formed their little alliance, and I called this to the letter.
Oh, I forgot. It was you that was right. It is.
Go watch that.
Yeah.
Go watch that. It's available as a snip down here in the old video upload.
Right by our T-shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
By our stickers.
Once I still get cut up, even though I'm a friend of the show. Close. Like, look, AEW is predictable, yes, but one thing they're not is smart about works, and this there's no way. I'm saying there is no way. There's no way they know what's going on. I'm not saying that MJF is gone for sure or not gone or whatever. What I'm saying is that they don't know yet. And unless Tony throws a shitload of money at him, like ungodly amounts of like guaranteed money, like we're talking like Roman Reigns money, guaranteed.
No, we're talking like $1.5 million.
No, we're talking Roman Reigns money guaranteed. We're talking.
Do you want to stay here and be the top guy, or do you want to go here to WWE?
No,
we're be the top guy.
Potentially lost in the shuffle.
No, we're talking.
And be potentially lost in the shuffle. You don't know.
Buddy, we're talking.
To be fair, Triple H hasn't lost anybody in the shuffle that hasn't deserved to be lost in the shuffle.
Absolutely. He's even trying. Good God.
If it's your career on the line, are you guys going to take the chance?
They just gave Kerry.
Yeah, if I'm MJF, absolutely.
No. Absolutely. Yeah. If I'm MJF, absolutely. No, you're wrong. If I'm
But
MJF,
he's built for WWE. Like
he is. He's
$1 million is $1 million, right $2 million is $2 million. If we're only talking $1 million, and I'm gonna get $1 million,
buddy, we're talking.
What do I care?
They're not doing it if they're not sending him $5+ million. What I think Kevin Owens just signed a $5 million contract.
That's crazy.
MJF he
doesn't even do anything.
No, he's just become this generation's old reliable. Like he's involved. Yeah. He can be involved in anything, and you believe that he has the opportunity to win.
Kevin Owens is gonna. Fight
I do want to talk about Kevin Owens, but right now is not the time to talk about Kevin Owens.
No.
Fuck it. Yeah, it absolutely is the time to talk about Kevin Owens.
All right, let's talk about this boring ass fucking shtick. It's the same shit.
He's about to fight. He's gonna fight Logan Paul for the U.S. title.
Who cares?
What do you mean?
No
who
one cares.
Millions
not gonna win.
Millions and millions of people. You know how much of a money match a match against Logan Paul to take, because they're gonna put the title on Kevin Owens. Logan Paul's not coming back to work regular shows. They're gonna put the title on Kevin Owens. Like,
no, they're not. Not until at least WrestleMania.
Are you kidding me? No, I think I think a title changes hands at Mania, and I think it's at the Rumble, and I think
it's very nice of Kevin Owens to go ahead and take the L for the YouTube champion.
I agree with Derek. They fucked up. They should have let Santos win. They should have let Santos win. Okay, have him fucking job out at the Rumble, and then obviously KO is going to be in the Rumble. He's not going to win. And then he cannot win because of Logan Paul. And then boom, ding, ding, ding. WrestleMania is ready to go. And we get 3 months of those dudes talking shit with each other.
I love KO, but
it'll be like Sami Zayn. It'll be like Sami Zayn and fucking in the Jackass crew, Johnny Knoxville. Like the level that they could take that into the mainstream, and it would matter, and it would be big because it's fucking Logan Paul.
Kevin Owens is getting stuck as jobber.
I don't think so. But I'm happy to eat my words, but I don't think
got
so.
WrestleMania legs, pal.
All right.
I'm telling you, it's got WrestleMania legs.
All right, we'll see what happens. What else we got? What else we got on the docket here?
Well, I mean, we were talking about AEW, and I think that it's important to note that the internet wrestling community would lead you to believe that Mercedes Moné has signed a 5-year deal with AEW. Oh yes, look at the hate that is already
that shut him up real hard.
It already just like come over him as soon as I mentioned her name. Like I didn't even have to. I just said her name, and he just looked at him.
It's not even her name. Her name is Sasha Banks. Nobody's even acknowledged her as Monet, whatever the hell he said.
Look at that dark.
She's a nobody.
Look at that dark
remark in the internet wrestling community.
Go over to Stardom, bitch.
Okay, well, she did that, and she dominated over there because as small as she is, she's still bigger than the fucking. So, anyways, listen, you drive me off track here. All right, the belief is that she has signed with AEW a long-term deal, five years, which Tom had the quote of the fucking millennium when we were talking about this in the group chat. It's pretty ambitious, thinking that they may still be around in 5 years.
Bold? No, I said it's bold of them to assume that AEW is going to be around in 5 years.
So, WWE obviously had contact with Sasha Banks, and they couldn't get the deal done. But I am very much of the belief that that's fodder at this point.
Absolutely,
because the Dave Meltzers of the world would have you believe that Mercedes was going to debut on Wednesday on Dynamite, and I didn't watch Dynamite, and I wasn't around on Wednesday, but I can neither confirm nor deny that she made an appearance on.
She did not.
Dynamite.
She was not there.
Was she there on Friday?
No, she wasn't there on Friday.
I didn't see her on Saturday whenever I was hitting the fast forward button either.
No, she wasn't there on Saturday. Look, here's the thing. They've been saying, oh, she's going to be on Dynamite this week for like 4 weeks. At least. Like before Christmas. Maybe since Thanksgiving. Has it been since Thanksgiving?
I don't think it goes that far back.
Okay, but it's been at least a month at this point. It's been at least since my birthday.
She doesn't matter.
And we've not seen hide nor hair of her except for her little page getting an update on the WWE.com site.
Yeah, and that she took a picture outside of the TD Garden in Boston, in her hometown of Boston, outside of a WWE house show, or that she posted a picture from inside the PC last week. But then miraculously, WWE has no interest in signing her.
Yeah,
it
fell through.
Or the talks fell through, whatever.
She won. They were too far away on money.
The thing is, didn't they just hand us this line of bullshit with CM Punk like
they
3
absolutely
weeks ago?
did. We have no interest, is what they said. And then, oh my God.
Look in my eyes. What do you see? Derek wants to talk about Mercedes.
I do have no interest in Mercedes, nor her hairdressers.
Those are weird.
I don't care.
That's why it's a different color every week.
No one cares.
I care
about.
I care.
I care about this black screen that says streaming from web, and I'm trying to get the Pins and Flyers games on right now, but I can't. That's what I care more about than
So-
Mercedes. I
So
don't care.
let me lay this
Nobody
out
cares.
here.
The wrestling community
I care.
does not care
I care.
which company she's going to go with.
Well, no,
Okay.
I care. and
Okay,
here's why.
okay. Hold on,
So
guys.
can I
Okay,
take
guys,
this one?
give me
once
1
Derek's
second.
done?
1 second. Let me just make one point. Okay.
Make your
No.
point, please.
So
You better be
if
good.
either of
Oh,
these
it's
companies,
terrible.
whomever it's going to be, all right. Let's say she signed with WWE. Let's
He's losing
say she
steam.
signed with AEW. Are you guys going to all of a sudden change your television watching schedule to follow Mercedes Moné?
I mean, I'm already watching all the shows, so
No.
I'm a bad person to ask. So
I feel like this question pertains more to me in the way that I watch wrestling, which is fair because I think you watch wrestling in a similar manner as I do when you have time.
I just put it on. It's on when I'm home.
So
I'm generally home.
to answer your question honestly, Derek, I don't know. Right? Like, there's been plenty of times where I sit down on a Friday night and SmackDown has concluded, or a lot of times I watch a lot on Saturday when I get home from work. I'm usually up late. I tie one on because I'm off on Sunday. I've got a little bit extra time to sleep in because the wife takes
Sure.
good care of me. So that's when I tend to do most of my wrestling consumption is on Saturday night. And sometimes if I'm really tired, that's a contentious decision on what I'm going to click on first. But it's really always going to be around what I deem to be worth my time. So, like, let's just say, for instance, that it's a Saturday night and Mercedes is on Dynamite on Wednesday, and Kevin and the AOP are the opening stanza of SmackDown, right? Yeah, I'm gonna watch AEW and see what Mercedes Moné is gonna do.
Okay. The
because-
AOP has a horrible finisher. Gotcha.
Right, but I'm just because that's the new shiny toy right now is Kevin and the AOP. Even though Kevin looks like a neutered donkey moving around the ring, and like when he was in NXT and he was just a fucking stud. Those are two different human beings as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But I can't wrap my head around it. And maybe 3 years removed, there was a reason Vince put him in a Gimp mask. I'm just saying. Okay, but regardless of all of that, so I don't know, Derek. I can't say yes or no because it's really going to depend on what the choices are and what's kind of bouncing that little needle for me in that given time, because you yourself know I consume wrestling based on what I want to see, right? And AEW was can't miss during the Continental Classic, and now they have this ugly title belt that just saturates everything, and the ending was stupid just like Tom said it was going to be, but like the tournament itself was phenomenal. I enjoyed everything about it. Right. And
so what you're saying is Mercedes is no CM Punk.
I mean, yeah, I tuned in to see what CM Punk was going to say. I was
I would
disappointed. I mean, we did a
Depends on
live
the channel.
watch along. I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
going to do
you tell me the
a
channel
live.
and I'll tune in.
I'm not going to do a live watch along for Mercedes.
Exactly.
But
Nobody
Mercedes
cares.
also doesn't necessarily generate the clicks that a CM Punk does.
It's not a needle mover. Depending on which company she
But it
goes to,
doesn't
it's not
mean
really
that she
gonna
deserves
matter.
you. It doesn't mean that she deserves your burial either.
I'm not trying to bury her. I'm just saying,
Bro, you bury her every time her name gets brought up.
because I don't give a shit. Nobody should. You know who I care more about
It makes
is
you angry.
Bailey and her faction that
You
she's
have
built up
something.
over the years because she's stuck with WWE and gave me something to care about. You can't tell me that the whole Bailey
That's
clique
fucking
is
nerd.
not way over than Mercedes Moné coming out of nowhere. Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you that I
I
think
have
that
so many other options that I'd
the
much
damage
rather
control
want.
is more over in my opinion than Mercedes, but it doesn't mean that I'm not
Absolutely.
going to watch Mercedes.
Yeah, baby.
All
I
right,
want to see
mute
what they're
him real
going
quick
to do.
because I have a thought.
Okay.
And here's my thoughts on this. So
Of
I
course, he's
believe-
not going to be here to defend his stance.
It doesn't matter. His stance doesn't
Shocking.
be defended because it's nonsense. So he doesn't have a stance. He just I don't care. That's not a stance. I don't
That's
care.
his stance.
Okay, fine. So here's the thing about Mercedes, and here's the thing about Sasha Banks. As Mercedes Moné, is she a needle mover? Absolutely not. He is 100% correct on that. In AEW, what is she? Nothing. She's nothing in AEW. She's not Tony Storm.
She's a Mark's wet dream, is what she is. In
Exactly.
AEW.
It'll be a big pop for her show up. She'll be Ruby Riott in AEW or Ruby Soho in AEW.
Ruby Soho. Hey,
She's not in AEW. She's nothing. I mean, maybe they're going to give her more money, and maybe that's what it is, right? If she ends up in AEW, it's purely because they handed her a bucket of cash, and they were like, "Here's a gazillion dollars," and she went, "Well, money's money," and that's great. But in AEW, she's purely using Tony as a money mark. She's not going to increase it. Those Dynamite ratings this week were at like 801,000. Like,
well, it's because the wrestling audience at large has finally come to understand that when AEW comes out of a pay-per-view, the first couple of weeks are going to be dog shit.
And they were. I'm just saying it went. So it was a bad week for AEW, and Mercedes Moné is not.
Oh, it's about to be a bad month, pal.
It's about to be a bad year. Let's be fair. Mercedes Moné does not move that needle in any which way at all. She doesn't gain AEW a single viewer. However, in WWE, it kind of doesn't matter. And here's why. They're still going to get the same amount of viewers, which is more than double on both shows now, wherever she shows up. So wherever it's boss time, that's going to explode. The other place that's going to explode and get well over 1 million views is on YouTube. The other place it's going to explode is on Twix, Twitter or X. The other place it's going to explode is on Instagram. Because WWE is going to blow that shit out of the water.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bills, y'all.
And in WWE, Sasha Banks has more to do. What's she going to do in AEW? Feud with Tony Storm? Okay. That's like the best case scenario, right? Maybe feud with Britt Baker.
I was waiting for it.
Like, those are like, that's it. We got 2. Now, she goes to WWE. Let's say Damage Control turns on Bayley, and we hear Sasha Banks' music kick in. It's boss time. She runs in and saves Bayley from Damage Control. Oh my God. Not only does the roof blow off that place, that is trending on Twitter. It's trending on every social media. And that YouTube video is just.
Could you imagine the narrative, right? Like Triple H is like, "Hey, Mercedes, listen. We're gonna sign this contract and I'm gonna put you on a payroll, okay? But like, I just want you to just keep dangling the carrot. Just keep letting them invite you to shows. Keep being all over their television, okay? Just keep thinking, letting them think they have a chance. And then at the Royal Rumble, okay, it's boss time. And we're just gonna trot you out. You're gonna save Bayley from fucking certain doom at the hands of Damage Control."
We'll talk about that for years.
You help Bayley win so that she can challenge EO, and she beats EO at WrestleMania. It's fucking cinema.
That'd be unbelievable. What's going to happen in AEW? They're going to either let her beat Tony Storm, and then Britt Baker's going to beat her, or somebody else. She'll have to lose to Riho.
Guaranteed. That's like AEW Women's Division punishment. That's like a rite of passage, losing to Riho.
Could you imagine? Like, that's what's going to happen.
He's going to be so pissed we're still talking about her.
It's just going to be There is no unless the money is triple or something like. Unless the money is so good that she cannot pass it up. There's no way. If she ends up in AEW, it's gonna be an Adam Copeland level mess. And I'm calling it right now.
Speaking of Adam Copeland, at least they finally gave him some pyro instead of like the little piddly diddly fire extinguishers. Okay, that look like a flaccid penis bouncing in the wind. Like
Who's Adam Copeland?
Maybe he bought his own pyro. You think he bought his own pyro?
He may as well just had the Bailey Hugger gimmick. Okay.
Say he should have had just had the blow up man.
Yeah, do that behind him whenever he does.
Like a fucking used car salesman coming out.
Okay, and listen, how many more times on air are these guys gonna fuck up Luchasaurus's name? Like, it's a running joke at this point.
It is.
It's a running.
Kill Switch. I'm sorry that Excalibur is fucking baked out of his mind every time he gets a microphone put in front of him. But Jesus fucking Christ.
Jesus. That's a little rough.
Have some goddamn professionalism. This man couldn't say anybody's name right if his goddamn I'm sorry, can we finally just say that Excalibur is fucking terrible? Like,
hey bud, you've been saying that shit for like 3.5 years.
He's been terrible since he showed up. He's somehow worse today.
Hey, he's the Meltzer fucking announcer of the year every single.
Dave Meltzer also must be fucking baked out of his mind. Dave, I don't understand what drugs.
Hey, listen, you're being pretty disrespectful right now.
No, fuck Excalibur, fuck Dave Meltzer, and
no, I'm not even talking about those two guys. I don't know what your problem is with being baked out of your mind. I mean,
that's fine. Maybe it's not baked. Maybe if they smoked pot or like took some gummies or something, maybe they could see what I see. But I think the problem is,
see what I see?
I think maybe they're like taking mushrooms or something, and they're like hallucinating.
On this day, I see clearly.
These mushrooms have come to life.
Like that's like they have to be hallucinating things that Excalibur is saying because he's not saying things that are good.
About? Malachi Black is not the man that he faced all those years ago in Dusseldorf, Germany.
Nope. I can vouch for that. I was there.
That's Tommy End. That's not Tommy End. I'm wrong.
That's not Tommy End.
That's Malachi Black. Where'd you pull that from? Jesus. JR's sitting there going, Jesus fucking Christ. They just muted JR.
JR's like, God, I can't wait till my foot gets cancer so I can just.
God, I hope I die.
Oh God, you can't say that. Tom unfollowed him on Twix.
It was that. Yeah, no, I did unfollow him on Twitter. Look, if he showed
JR,
yeah, because it kept showing fucking pictures of his fucking rotting foot that I like. They would just show up and
like breakfast time. Yeah, like you're on the breakfast time scroll. JR's giving a daily foot update. Like, listen, I hope good old JR fucking gets on his feet, bro. But like,
I don't want to
say a hard follow.
Wow, that was mean. That right there was just rough. You hope JR gets on his feet, really?
Hey, pal. Hey, you made a nub joke earlier, okay?
A couple of them. Fuck them nubs. They're healed.
Solid 5 minutes.
They're healed nubs.
No. This man had no legs at all. They were hip nubs as well.
And he hasn't had them for a minute.
Fucking hell. Guy steps on a goddamn landmine. It's chucked out of a ring.
I didn't ask him to join the pro wrestling league.
Sure I mean, yeah, I don't know who
I'm just
did.
A commentator.
You know what? I bet you could probably buy some prosthetics on Amazon in this day and age.
That's what comes out. Oh my God.
Hold on. Let's see.
Somebody comes out from under the ring and puts prosthetics under the nubs as he falls to the ground.
Yeah, but then what do? You're in a conundrum. Like, is that 2 feet on the floor?
Absolutely can buy prosthetic legs on Amazon.
Oh man,
you can get all kinds of things on Amazon. You know what else? You know what else we're gonna be able to get on Amazon pretty soon? Monday Night Raw.
Sure will. Oh, what a good segment. What a good
nice
what
segue.
what a great segue. Man, this has to go up for segue of the year. I know it's only the first show, but wow. God, I'm so proud of you right
I'll
now.
write it down.
I
You
mean,
ever
I made you full on Google or Amazon search prosthetic legs to set that up.
You see how like my heart, I'm like the Grinch. My heart grew 3 sizes this day.
You see what happens when you guys let me drive the bus here? Like, I mean,
It was a great drive. I'm excited for it if it goes on Amazon, and here's why. The Amazon app 10 times better than the USA app.
Dad,
Oh no, Dad.
I want you to go to bed, Mommy.
She wants you to go to bed. Good night, Derek. Well, it's just us again.
yep,
Oh well.
he's trying.
He's trying. Good job. Good try. Hey, look, sometimes you got to be dad. I respect.
No doubt.
I respect it.
Yeah,
I respect it. My
she's
kids
so
are.
upset. That's his fault, though. Like he can't say no. He's just pathetic.
I mean, it's really
like
hard to be a girl dad. It's really hard. They got this face that just melts your heart, and they ask you for things. They're like, "Will you break his arm, Daddy?" And you're like, "I'll break his arm, baby."
see,
Snap an arm, and you're like, "What did I just do?"
I stepdad girl, right? That's like my little
Break some
partner.
arms. Yeah, but she's a
My
little
partner.
older too.
Yeah, but she wasn't. I've been around fucking since she was that age.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, look at
All right.
I was just putting you over.
Yeah,
I know.
actually, we were both kind of putting you over.
I love you.
I love you.
Now she's breaking my heart.
Until you leave.
Now she's breaking my heart.
I
Gotta do a kiss my kid. Go ahead.
Soon.
Okay, I'm gonna wait for you.
Do you want to talk about how? Oh, babe.
Stop. I'm gonna cry. You better cut it out.
All right, I gotta go do the dad thing.
All right, go. Just go. We got it. You're
Chris
making me
Jericho is trash. Chris Jericho is terrible. Don't let him get away with this, Tom. Make
I
sure
won't.
you let him
No, I won't.
make him pay for this.
All right, we'll get there.
I know him. He'll sit there and just defend him all night. Fucking horrible kid.
If you come back, do that. But go take care. Go. Stop making me sad. Jesus Christ. That's what they do to you.
Oh,
Man.
he left. Like he's gone.
Oh, he ain't coming back then. Solid try. We made it 52 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty
That's
good.
pretty solid. I'll take it.
Pretty good. Kudos to Derek.
He did cry. I love you, Daddy. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'll be all right.
All right. So yeah, Monday Night Raw is gonna be on Amazon, pal.
So immediately my thought is that's great for me because the USA app is a pain in my ass. Plus, I'm like paying for channels that I don't watch on cable, and cable sucks. So the fact that it's already on something that I'm already paying for is great. And now I can watch on Amazon The Boys, Invincible, and Monday Night Raw. So I can't say that about USA. I don't watch that much stuff on USA. I pretty much just
watch
Raw.
La Femme Nikita.
No, I don't. That ended 30 years ago.
Okay.
I watch. I don't watch. What else is on? Barmageddon might be the worst show on television.
Is that you're just saying that because Nikki Bella's on there and you're a hater?
No, I'm actually not a hater of Nikki Bella. I'm a hater of everybody else.
So
Blake Shelton, hater, big time. Carson Daly,
hey, that's
him.
that Blake Shelton is a man. Sir.
Look, in fact, if I could watch a show where Blake Shelton gets murdered brutally,
bro, you can't say that stuff.
Why not?
Because what if something happens to Blake Shelton tomorrow? You're going to be implicated.
Great, I'll celebrate. Cheers.
You really can't say that stuff. Like that makes you look like you're an inconsiderate human being.
That's fine. I don't care. Only toward Blake Shelton. I love everybody else except Blake Shelton.
I don't. What's your beef, bro?
He sucks. Nobody sucks like he sucks. He sucks so hard. Everything that sucks on television is Blake Shelton.
But what? But why?
Because everything that sucks on television is Blake
Okay,
Shelton.
he's on.
Name me one good thing Blake Shelton's ever done.
I mean,
you can't, because there's none of it. Everything's been awful.
I mean,
he may as well be the Adolf Hitler of our time.
I mean, he's a pretty accomplished country artist. Bud.
Yeah, exactly. The worst genre of he is accomplished in the worst genre of the worst genre of country music.
I mean, he's like the main character on the spinny chair singing show.
Yeah, he's the Adolf Hitler of television and country music.
Listen, you can't say that.
Look, he gasses children.
Listen, you are going to offend somebody, and we're gonna.
I don't care, and they can gas themselves.
But we're gonna get canceled.
No, nobody's gonna cancel me because I hate Blake Shelton.
I mean, you've said some pretty terrible things here, bud.
You mean saying about Donald Trump? I hope Donald Trump and Blake Shelton
here we go.
have gay sex and get smashed and burned.
Next week, Mantar is going to be in the comments talking about not being able to get his vegan food in Guantanamo Bay because of you. Okay,
great. I hope that Mantar is eaten by other vegans in Guantanamo Bay.
Hey, yesterday was the Insurrection Day, bud.
It was. Well, 2 days ago, the 6th.
Did you celebrate? You celebrated, Saturday. Didn't you?
I was no, I actually celebrated today because hear me out. Today was the day where all the people who participated in the insurrection cried as they were not allowed to get back on planes to go home and had to go. Is that Buffalo Trace? I saw it. It is. Anyway, I need some of that. I need some of that in my life. Anyway, today is actually the celebration of all those people who took their 3-day weekends on their travel, fucking crying because they couldn't get on the plane because now they're criminals in the United States just because they stood up for their president. Oh my God, buddy, that was like, oh my God, that was. I've never done heroin, but I can't imagine it feels better than that. Like that. I can't imagine.
The fuck?
That felt so amazing. Like, oh my God. Like my heart just like the amount of joy I felt. It was like the moment my children were born. It was like, oh my God.
God bless America.
God, I watched those videos over and over again and just smiled from ear to ear. God, the only thing that would have made those better would have been if like somebody kicked them in the nuts while they were crying. Oh my God, those videos were so amazing.
Like,
actually, earlier today, I rewatched some of them.
On a scale of right to left, like how far left do you really?
God, no, I just hate those motherfuckers so much. I am a black pool of hate, and I think that you should know that by now. But I am a black pool. I at least have in my heart this black pool of hate, and occasionally that black pool of hate needs to be fed. God, that black pool of hate was fed. I could probably live off that for the rest of my life. That was how delicious that was. It was so good. Oh my God, it was my mouth is watering just thinking about it right now. Oh my God, that was like, so I celebrated today because today was the day that those people cried on camera because they couldn't get on their planes and go back to their mundane jobs because they staged an insurrection and they climbed the walls next to steps. And that stupid bitch got shot and killed. and then they were like, oh, let's remember on the 3rd anniversary of her death.
Bro, you are wild. Like,
it was the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
You are wild. Wild.
Anyway.
Hey.
Amazing.
So, interesting fact about Insurrection Day that I don't know if you may or may not know, but I'm gonna enlighten you. allegedly Chris Jericho's wife was involved in the attempted overthrow of the United States government.
She was there. It's confirmed.
Yeah,
100%
yeah.
confirmed.
Well, I
You
mean,
think Chris Jericho likes his wife?
she certainly wasn't in the alleged hotel room with the alleged Kylie Ray.
Nope.
I kind of quit following this, just because for whatever reason it kind of got lost on my radar. And I think Derek thought that I was going to come in here and try to defend Chris Jericho, and I mean, I have opinions, but we're going to get into it. But Tom,
So-
I know you followed this really, really close, so I would prefer that you give the recap to our audience as to the happenings behind this.
So here's what this all kind of unfolded on Twitter, and it's as you alleged, it is all alleged, or as you indicated, it is all alleged at this point in time. We have no real facts at all, but
I don't think we're ever going to get real facts either.
I don't think so either, and I think the hope is that this just kind of gets swept away and gets washed away in the stream of things, because that's how the internet works. Is just if nobody talks about it, it just goes away. But I also feel like nobody talking about it is part of the problem. So let me start at the beginning. On the day before, we'll say day before, because I can't remember what time I saw it. Day before the last AEW pay-per-view.
Can I pump the brakes? Can I pump the brakes and set the scene here of why this is? This is.
You want to talk about how Chris Jericho flipped out on Twitter about how he never signed NDAs and he put himself inside the room where CM Punk was and all that jazz? Go ahead.
Okay, great. So we're on the same page. So, the big thing happened on Twitter with Johnny P. Law, or whatever the fuck his name is.
Stephen P. New.
Yeah, Stephen P. New, CM Punk's attorney, about the brawl out incident and how everybody everybody involved signed an NDA except for Ace Steel's wife Lucy and Larry the dog. Even though Larry is a fucking he was part of the assault. Okay, he is a criminal on the run. All right, Larry the dog fucking bit a guy. All right,
Larry definitely bit a guy.
Okay, we've got to come to fucking terms that busted mouth Larry fucking bit a guy. All right,
Larry definitely bit a guy.
Okay. Ace Steel tried to take the fucking fall for him. Said it was him. I'm the one that bit Kenny Omega, but it was goddamn Larry the dog, because they would have put Larry the dog down. Ace Steel's a ride or die, and he said, "No, I bit Kenny Omega. I'm gonna get fired for Larry the dog. Larry the dog's my friend.
Good for Ace Steel.
Larry the dog's my hero.
Ace Steel's my hero for getting fired for Larry the dog.
Okay, Larry the dog is not the hero. Okay, Larry dog is a piece of shit. Okay, that's right. I said it. Larry the dog needs to go to the dentist. Okay,
Doggy dentist.
Larry the dog is a war criminal. Anyways, I digress. So all this shit hits the fan. Jericho tweets out, I think it's like the day after Christmas.
Yeah. It was like Christmas night, like 4 a.m.
Yeah, this hit the interwebs, right? And Jericho said something along the lines of, "That's funny, I've never signed an NDA." And I was there.
He like tripled down on it too.
Yeah, and then Stephen P. New says, "Oh, well."
This is also, let me point out, this is the first we've heard about Chris Jericho being anywhere near this event, by the way.
Yes.
Over a year later. This is
I kind of always figured, right? But like, just because he's kind of an influence in AEW and he's kind of important to the backstage workings, but he doesn't have a title. But like, it's a whole vibe, right? Like,
yeah.
So I'm not surprised to hear that he was there either.
I don't think he was, though. Anyway, go ahead.
And there's that too, right? But Johnny P. Law says, no, if you signed a AEW handbook, you signed an NDA. And Jericho goes, yeah, I didn't never signed a handbook. What is this, fucking middle school? Huh? Signed a handbook? I can't say anything. I make people sign a handbook.
Anyway, so after that, the Jim Cornette podcast actually said, we have a handbook. Here it is. Here's the thing. Here's the AEW handbook. And yeah, there's an NDA in here, and here it is. And they posted that. It was Brian Last that got involved in that. And because
that's Cornette's lawyer too, right?
Stephen P. New, yeah, he is the consigliere of the.
So he's legal. So he's the legal chooch for Jim Cornette.
He is legal counsel for Cornette.
Legal chooch. Her.
Yes, legal chooch. Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. They've maybe referred to him as such on the podcast at some point. Anyway, so lots of back and forth on Twitter, and it just seems to be like Chris Jericho's drunk and being a chooch on Christmas night, and that's fine, right? Like, we're all pretty hammered on Christmas. A lot of people are. It's not like
it's definitely drunk on Christmas.
It's not uncommon, right? Like, it's fine, right? So that's
I had a long fucking day. Like,
yeah.
The kids woke me up at like fucking 5:30.
Yeah, and then after going everywhere, you come home.
I cooked a luxurious dinner, and people came to me.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I cleaned up after said luxurious dinner, and then I drank old fashions like they were going out of fucking style.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You hit the old fashions. You hit the good stuff a little hard after Christmas because it's Christmas time. For God's sake. You're not going to work the next day. It's fucking.
I was on vacation. It was okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. I took that whole week off. It was great. It was oh my God. I haven't had a week off. We don't want to talk about that. Anyway, it was amazing. So
you beat off a lot, did you?
Actually, no. I feel like I should have, but
it's disappointing. Waste of time, buddy.
I wasted my time. I really did.
You gotta play it better.
I maybe should have, but I didn't, and that's on me. But so Jericho, was hammered. Had his little Twitter Twitter beef there. It was fine, I guess. It all settled down. Everybody was like, "Ha, Chris Jericho's a drunk idiot," and that was that, right? But then what had happened was, out of Chris Jericho saying he never signed an NDA, yada 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 yada, in comes this Smiley Kylie Ray thing, where somebody else on Twitter said something to the effect of, yeah, except Kylie Ray was told that, to come back to your dressing room or locker room or
it was a hotel room,
and under the allure that other people would be there,
the guys,
other people would be there, but then nobody was there. It was just Chris Jericho. And allegedly, he made what was at least a pass at her, and she freaked out and left and quit the company. And this was the very, very early stages of AEW. So AEW didn't actually have a star. Chris Jericho was the biggest star AEW had.
Yes,
by far. Forget Kenny, forget the Young Bucks.
But I mean, at this time, I would say he was probably even the world champion.
He was not yet. But he
wanted a double or nothing, which predated Kylie Ray.
No, you're right. Okay, you're right. Okay, so he was the world champion, and he was the only star on the roster. They didn't yet have a TV deal, but it was coming. They weren't on TV yet, but it was coming. And your world champion and biggest star
was trying to come.
Huh?
I said it's not the only thing that was trying to come.
Bingo. So your world champion allegedly, your world champion and only star is now involved in what may or may not be a sexual harassment lawsuit. Well, if you're Tony Khan, you look at this and you go, oh, fuck. I'm sorry, Kylie Ray. Please sign this paper. I will pay out the rest of your contract, and you can go away and do whatever you want. here's your paycheck for 3 years or 5 years or whatever it is, whatever it was at this time. And that's alleged. That's the basic story of that's basically in a box what was explained on Twitter. Now, this all comes to light a couple days after Chris Jericho's little Twitter Christmas Day, like drunken, blah, I never signed an NDA, blah, 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 blah. Somebody's like, it's funny because somebody else signed an NDA about your conduct. However, that was met with radio silence. And here's my thoughts on all of this. So I don't know that I don't know what
she heart tweeted it or some shit.
She did heart tweet it. She did heart it. So here's my thoughts on
which fueled the speculation.
Absolutely it did. So here's my thoughts on this is that I don't know what happened exactly. However, something happened. 100% something happened. Whether or not it was consensual or not, it may have been consensual. But whatever happened, and it caused Kylie Rae to leave. Now, maybe Kylie Rae would have left anyway. She has left
not like a month or two in to the biggest opportunity of her young career.
Clearly, because she was set up to be one of their top stars. She was one of the more decorated women at the time because there were no women to be signed at the time. They signed the best women that were available, and she was one of them. And so she left immediately, and that was weird. And if you go back and look at it now with context, it's weirder. Especially the Tony Khan interview where he's like, no, she just asked to leave and she left, and she's a very nice person. Great.
But that's kind of par for the course though too, pal.
It's not though, because Andrade's been trying to leave basically since he signed a contract. Lots of people have been trying to leave AEW. Lots of people have to wait their contracts out.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that part of it. I mean, I agree with everything you're saying there. I'm talking about like just the way Tony handles these questions that he doesn't want to answer.
Well, I'll get to that in a minute, but so looking back on it now, it seems like something happened and they tried to sweep it under the rug. Now, I'm going to put this in the best light possible. Let's say that whatever Chris Jericho and Kylie Rae did was absolutely consensual, and they did something, right?
Allegedly.
Let's say whatever it was absolutely consensual and they did something. Maybe they were both a little tipsy. You know, Jericho likes a little bit of the bubbly. Kylie Rae's had some difficulties in the past. Let's not beat around the bush about that with her mental health and some other things. She's had some difficulties in the past.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is a recurring like.
Oh, well, then that's a revelation for me. I didn't know that.
This is a recurring thing. So she's had some.
I just knew that she was a talented young lady.
She is a talented
with
lady.
tons of potential.
Tons of 100%. Both those things, 100%. Had some issues in the past, and particularly mentally. And she tends to make decisions and then regret them. Seems to be the general consensus. I'm just saying, like, let's take crime out of all of this. Let's say it was 100% legal, 100% consensual. And nobody did anything wrong or broke any laws, but they did something consensually. Well, here's the problem with that. Chris Jericho's married. This is a sex scandal. Kylie Rae now feels bad about it. And that's the biggest guy. Is that how you want to start AEW? No, you have her sign off on it and leave. However, let's take it back. Chris Jericho's married. Do you want Chris Jericho to have an affair and have that be how AEW starts? Hey, the only superstar in AEW has cheated on his wife of 20 years or whatever. Like, they have children that are like adults. And like, that's a mess. Let's sweep all that under the rug and hope that goes away. And we just give Kylie Rae her way out. I'm just saying that, like, this has too much legs to just be swept under the rug. In addition to that, this could have been totally put to bed if nothing actually happened and there were no NDAs and no nothing anywhere. This could have been totally put to bed when Tony Khan was asked after their pay-per-view last week and was asked,
What
hey,
the fuck was he wearing on his head?
oh my God. He answered that with sunglasses on and that like Khabib hat from like, oh my God, like what the fuck? I don't know. Like,
Bud, what's up with the hat? Like, your hair looks like that anyways, pal.
right?
But like, I don't know.
And the sunglasses. Like, he looked like he had been.
I don't.
I mean, because he was, but still.
It just didn't do it for me. But anyways, please go ahead and continue.
So he was asked about this not once, not twice, but 3 times during this scrum, and he did nothing to put it to bed. And I know you're going to say, well, that's just what AEW does. But if there was nothing, like you just say, no, that's nonsense. That we've never had a complaint against Chris Jericho for sexual harassment, and that's ridiculous. Nobody signed an NDA against you. Just say that. You just bleh, here's the facts. Put it to bed, right? So nobody says anything.
That's PR speak, bro. Like you don't. That's what he does best, man. Is spin. Like he's a high-level executive for an NFL team. He owns a wrestling promotion and a fucking international soccer team. Like my guy knows how to fucking spin PR. He does a great job answering questions that he doesn't want to answer.
No, that he didn't answer the question. That's the thing, is that like he could have put it to bed, but it has not yet been put to bed. And since every show that Chris Jericho has come out, he's gotten NDA and Kylie Ray. Fuck you, Jericho. And it's happened now 5 times, I think. Yeah, 5 times. So, had it been put to bed, that would have been it. But it wasn't put to bed. It's still not put to bed. They're hoping it just fades away. But will it? I don't know. I mean, maybe it will. Look, maybe it was nothing. It's entirely possible that it was nothing.
No, it's 100% entirely possible, and this is where I think Derek thinks I'm gonna defend Jericho, and that's just not the case, right? Like, I'm really bummed out that there's a possibility that there was nefarious things with this talented young lady, and it's like to use your position of power to, oh, hey, and like in my mind, I see it going down like, hey, like a bunch of us are gonna hang out, we're gonna talk about the fucking show next week, like why don't you come join us? And then she comes and knocks on the door, and the door swings open, and Jericho's laying in the dark like Shawn Michaels with the world champion with the winged eagle. Do you know what I'm saying? With the AEW belt instead, and it just bums me out.
Yeah,
and I don't want that to be true. It's not like Chris Jericho is my favorite fucking performer. It's just from the human aspect. Like, I have a lot of respect for what Jericho has done for the business for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of respect for Ric Flair for what he's offered to the business for a very, very, very long time. And it's like, when these types of stories come out where these guys have abused their perceived power or authority, it really bums me out, because like these are top tier human beings in our eyes, as far as like our quote unquote heroes. There's bigger than life characters that we've grown up with and we've learned to love and respect, and then to hear that they're a trash human, it just bums me out. Like, it's not that I'm going to sit here and defend it. Do I know if it happened? No. That's between Jericho, Kylie Ray, and the popcorn shit on the walls, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I wasn't there, but just the theory, the theoretical piece, bums me out.
Yeah. No, absolutely, and that's, buddy, that's where I sit too, because it's like one of those things where I feel like I said a few years ago, like Jericho should have just retired. But
then he kind of reinvented himself again, and he had that little stretch there in AEW where his booking was important, and he mattered and he wasn't getting blown up, and because he wasn't out there trying to, have Lionheart matches. Like he was having fucking Y2J Chris Jericho matches, and they were very well paced, and they had he had a run. He had 2 runs in AEW. Like once he lost the title, that aftertime run was trash.
Oh yeah, it was real.
And
bad.
then he had
That's
a little.
Where I said he should have retired.
And then he had a little uptick, and now it's just Chris Jericho playing the hits.
Yeah, it sucks again. He's in tag matches where he's just like, "Oh, Judas Effect. Oh my God, they kicked out. Oh no, Lion Salt. I almost broke my neck. Fuck."
So like I think when we were kind of having this conversation, I think Derek misconstrued the things that I was saying as far as like this whole situation bumming me out as me wanting to defend Jericho, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. I mean, I hope from a standpoint of it was just if anything, it was a consensual affair, gone awry. I hope that it wasn't anything of a predatory nature.
I feel like that's best case scenario, right? Is that they were like, "Hey,
okay, listen, it's 2 adults that made a decision, whether it was right, wrong, or indifferent. They made a decision.
Yeah, that's my hope too.
And they have to live with those consequences, and then you've got fucking Ringside News fucking trying to drag Jericho through the mud with a cheating scandal. You know what I'm saying? Because Jericho released a picture of what could be him and his wife. It's really weird. A lot of people think it's her.
Very blurry.
A lot of people think it's her, but Ringside saying it's not, and I think it's this whole thing. And while he's dealing with all this shit, it just bums me out that now everybody's just attacking his character. Because what if none of this is true? What if the critics and the detractors are right? And Nick Houseman's just a piece of shit.
But also, why wasn't it put to bed by the people that just could put it to bed? That to me is the most damning piece of evidence. Is it
though? Because I mean,
no. Look at
it from this standpoint.
This is a mess, dude. This is a mess, and it could have been put to bed easily. Look, if Tony Khan said, "Look, nobody's ever said anything, given me a sexual harassment, anything against Chris Jericho, and that's complete nonsense, and you shouldn't bring that up because that's attacking a man's character, a man who helped build this company or something." Like all you got to do is come out there and stick up for your guy. He didn't stick up for him.
And I get that too, but maybe taking the high road's not a bad thing either, where it's like, hey, Nick Houseman's full of shit. Okay.
They didn't do that either. They didn't say that either.
This is all bullshit. Like, we're just not even going to acknowledge this publicly. Like, this is a giant waste of our time and our money, and my time is not worth my money to answer and deal with this drama.
But they didn't say that.
But then you're still dedicating time and your time, money, and energy to it. That's
still a answer it. He still dedicated time. That was it, because like they let the question be asked. The question was asked, and he said, "I'm not going to answer that."
Okay, I just don't see anything wrong with how it was handled from that standpoint. And this is great. It's a slow news week, slow news month, right? Like, why are we going to focus on the quality of the in-ring product whenever we can just fucking drag a man's name through the fucking mud? I just don't.
Because they didn't exonerate the man, and that's what they should have done. And I feel like the man was not exonerated. If Chris Jericho deserves to be exonerated, he should be. And that to me is the biggest travesty. Is that, like, if he deserves to be exonerated of this, it's already become a big deal. If he deserves to be exonerated of this, he should be. But if he doesn't, he hasn't been. And that,
I mean, but I feel like I feel like we're saying the same thing. We've got the same opinion on the situation. I think that we have very different opinions of how the situation has been handled. And that's okay, right? But like, I feel like we're operating on speculation and rumor and innuendo,
Absolutely we are.
as the markiest of the marks would have you believe.
Well, and legally nobody can say anything about anything. So that's the thing, is the people that can say things, the guy that owns the company, the guy that made everybody sign the NDAs, he's the guy that can say the things. He can be like, no, that's ridiculous. And even if that's not true, he could put the rumors to bed.
So you would much rather him just lie and then crucify him later on.
No, I'm
whenever
not saying I'd
whenever
much
the
rather
truth
him
came
lie.
out,
I'd
that
much rather
this
him
actually happened in a nefarious way.
Here's the thing: the fact that he didn't say anything about
He's in a lose-lose situation.
He's not, though, because look, here's the thing. You're right. He's in a lose-lose situation. So what he did was said nothing, but he's not. Actually, you know what? He's not in a lose-lose situation, because if nothing happened, all he's got to say is nothing happened. That's nonsense.
Yeah, but then everybody on the internet's going to ridicule him and not believe him anyways.
Doesn't matter.
So,
Everybody didn't believe him anyway. It's literally the same outcome. But in fact, you and I are sitting here saying, I'm like, look, Tony Khan said nothing happened. We can only go on that. You know, Chris Jericho hasn't said anything. Kylie Ray hasn't said anything. Tony Khan said nothing happened. And if that's the case, then that's the case, and that's it.
I don't know that to be truthful, sir. I don't know that would be truthful. I think that if he were to say that nothing happened, somebody would be sitting here saying, "What a chooch." Okay, just to fucking tell us. Just tell us it happened. Just tell us what we want to hear.
But if it didn't happen, it didn't happen.
Right, but nobody's going to believe him anyways, because he has a track record of dancing around these types of questions.
I mean, he does, but what if he actually just addressed it and said, no, nothing happened?
I don't have a problem with the way that he's danced. He's just flat out just not dedicated any time or energy to it.
All right, well, but still, it's I don't agree. Oh, Jinder's back. Anyway.
Oh, again?
Yeah, now he's talking to Seth.
You know what? They've got something there with that anti-America thing. Like,
because they didn't do that for 50 years. Clearly, they got something with
right,
that.
but they haven't done it in a really long time.
They really haven't. But
Jinder is intelligent enough to pull that off on a fucking like elevated intellectual level. That he could be the smuggest fuck in the United States of America if he really, really wanted to. Like, I hope they find a home for him with this and give him an opportunity to run with it. Especially since The Rock went out in the fucking middle of the ring and he buried him.
Yeah.
I mean.
Well, but at the same time, they also put him in the ring with The Rock.
Yes. Which is a nod, right? And I mean, I don't know. Are you done with Jericho?
I'm done with Jericho.
Okay.
That's all I got to say. I don't know what happened, but I don't feel like anybody's been served by the response.
And you know what? And you're entitled to your opinion, and maybe you're right. Maybe my opinion, my outlooks on it is backwards. But I don't know. I'm just bummed out that we even have to talk about it. Just bummed out. I just don't want people that I grew up with being trash human beings. That's it.
I feel you. I don't want it either. But
that's it. I don't. If he cheated on his wife, it's not going to change my opinion of him as a.
No, me neither. And that's what I prefer
as a performer. Actually. But like, you know, if he had some predatory shit, like it's gonna. I'm bummed out. You know.
I'm right there with you.
I agree.
Out. I would.
But yeah, I was also bummed out with The Rock.
Okay, so we're on the same page with this. Go ahead.
Man, he just doesn't have it right now. This is twice now in like 4 months that he's been on camera, and they've just said, here's a live microphone, go out there and make magic, Dwayne. And he's not done it. And I'm sure that that's ring rust, and I'm sure that my expectations are exponentially higher than the average fan, just because I know what The Rock is. And I know what a microphone in The Rock's hand means. And I know that The Rock is always going to deliver. if you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Except that was garbage. That was
it's
like the worst.
Twice now, it's not been good.
That was the worst fake Hulk Hogan promo that I've ever heard in my life.
Do you think and this is real, right? Do you think that's like stage fright? Like,
do you think that so here's the thing. If they told him to say that, that's on Hunter and the rest of like creative, because that was the most disjointed shit I've ever seen on in the last since the early 1990s. That's the most weirdly pro-American disjointed shit that I've seen in a long time. That's like
all he needed was a goddamn 2x4.
Yeah, exactly. He could have been flying the flag with a 2x4 in the other hand. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was so weird and bad. Weird and bad is really the only way to describe it. And I felt like Jinder started out like he got out there and he got rolling a little bit. He did all right.
Mm-hmm.
And then The Rock like the thing where The Rock is like
that pop though.
That pop of him coming out, I guess, is still, Attitude Era left over. But he's like having one side cheer. It's like, what was it? Monday Night Douchebag or Friday Night Douchebag or something like that.
It was fucking something douchebag.
Yeah, but whatever that was like that could not have been more cringy. It was the cringiest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
happen.
He did that with Austin Theory, and
it was cringy then.
And it was cringy then too.
It was worse this time. It was like, hey, you know that thing we did that sucked last time?
Yeah, we're gonna do it again.
Worse. Let's be worse about it. That was the worst segment on SmackDown. I have to say that was by far the worst segment on SmackDown. It was bad. From The Rock came out and they got a pop, but like the second he started talking, it was like, oh my god, boom! It was terrible. Just that may be the worst Rock segment I've ever seen. That to this day has been the worst segment on WWE television this year. Now,
I mean, it wasn't good. It wasn't.
Now
good.
We're still early,
we are still early. And I think that I wanna dive into what this means for the road to WrestleMania, right? I'm actually really surprised that we're on the same page here. I wish Derek was here to talk about it. Because I'm willing to bet that probably for the first time ever, all three of us would have agreed on something.
No, Derek hated it too. Because we were talking about it as it was happening. He was like, "What the fuck is this? This is terrible. Like this is like it was so bad." But yeah, you're right, because that's the other reason it's bad is like let's talk about the road to WrestleMania implications here, because
so I mean, conventional wisdom would have you think that like Roman and The Rock has to be a WrestleMania main event, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I've been conditioned to understand it. Like that's money, right? Like,
so yeah.
That's...
But and I'm not the only one that has.
Also, can I point out that The Rock was blown up as fuck after his little in-ring hoobie-doob there? Like he looked like his cardio was not ring ready cardio.
Well, no, I mean all he does is lift weights and eat food, and
I'm just saying he did a little.
He might listen if he gets himself into fucking ring shape for this match, he might be fucking properly jogged. Like he might be.
He's got what 4 months?
Like think X-Men Colossus. Like that's what he could fucking look like. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not
cock fucking diesel motherfucker.
Look, I'm not saying that I couldn't
look some of that body mass, like get the body fat down, just fucking.
I'm hoping I'm wrong, right? Like I'm hoping that I could that I'm just like thinking about it like, oh my god, do you remember WrestleMania 40? Oh my god, Rock and Roman, oh my god. Do you remember? Oh my God. Like that's what I hope happens to my, because I'm clearly I'm going to watch. Like,
It's not. That's not going to be WrestleMania.
probably not.
Nope.
So here's my thought on that. Put The Rock in the Elimination Chamber.
Nope.
They'll put The Rock in the Rumble. That's nonsense. Put The Rock in the Elimination Chamber.
Nope.
Have The Rock and Cody be the last two guys and have Cody beat The Rock. You hadn't thought about that, and now you're like, fuck, that'd be great.
I mean, it would be great. And then have CM Punk win the Rumble and challenge Seth Rollins on Monday night. And then
maybe have The Rock show up at WrestleMania and help keep the bloodline off of Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, any of that. I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of it's going to end up being fucking Roman and Rock at Elimination Chamber main event, because it's a 75,000 person stadium that's sold out and they're in the middle of their global expansion. Now, also,
I mean, that's not terrible either. Like,
also the rumor would have you believe that the Australian folks that organized this event with WWE absolutely asked for specific talent, and The Rock was one of those people on that list. So, I mean, from a business standpoint, as far as worldwide global expansion, it makes sense because these are what people have asked for. So I don't know. Maybe that's got something to do with it. But I do believe that we will see The Rock versus Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber. And people are saying that they feel like The Rock should win and then have a three-way at WrestleMania. So you double dip Roman and The Rock, and then you add Cody into the mix at WrestleMania night 2, and Cody pins The Rock to retain the title, and Roman never loses.
That'd be okay too. I wouldn't hate that either, but I would rather see, I think, Cody beat The Rock in the Elimination Chamber, The Rock shake Cody's hand afterwards, and then run out during WrestleMania to protect Cody from the bloodline. I think I would prefer that. I think that gets a bigger pop. I think I think that's a bigger moment, and they're looking for WrestleMania moments. I think that's a bigger moment. But either way, I feel like as long as we continue to keep Cody involved and Cody wins at WrestleMania, that makes the most sense.
Wait, you didn't know Cody Rhodes is working doesn't have a WWE contract right now?
Yeah, he does. He just re-signed a big one.
He hasn't signed an extension.
I thought he just re-signed a big one.
Nope, not according to the internet. He didn't even have a contract.
Oh, okay. He's just
working on a handshake.
Working on a handshake. Yeah.
He's coming back to AEW, fucking like full gear. He's gonna come out and say it's Sting.
All right, now you're just fucking with me because that's not gonna happen.
No, I mean that's the belief on the internet.
Yeah, well, the internet's really stupid. Is Kane coming? Why is everything red? It's weird.
Lyra Valkyrie, probably fucking Kevin. Is it Kevin?
No, it's about to be Otis versus Ivar for like the fifth time. Like, I realize they like seeing these two huge guys smash each other, but Jesus Christ, like, this is enough. Let's do red lights this time. Maybe that'll make it.
So we're both in agreement that Roman Cody has to happen at WrestleMania.
Has to happen at WrestleMania. Like, there's no way it can't happen at WrestleMania. Like, that's nonsense to us who watch this shit over and over, like, every week. Because here's what could happen, and this would suck, is The Rock wins something to challenge Roman, whether he wins the Rumble coming out number 30, or and then CM Punk wins the Elimination Chamber or whatever. Like, then we've wasted both of them on the new returning old guys. And then The Rock loses to Roman at WrestleMania. Because let's face it, The Rock's not going to be the champ and carry the title. He's just not, right? So you're going to keep the belt on Roman to extend that whatever 1,000+ day streak. And then Cody takes it from him at WrestleMania or at SummerSlam or something, after the big money's been sold out and everything, and after they sold 50 gazillion billion $1 million of everything and this Rock T-shirts and everything at WrestleMania, and then we go to SummerSlam, and then that's where Cody finishes the story, and it's like, okay, so we delayed it for 4 months to sell more T-shirts. Okay, all right, whatever. I guess you guys got to make your money. Whatever, you fucking big global brand. But at the same time, like, does that not continue to pollute the brand of WrestleMania? And they can't.
You don't use it. You don't use WrestleMania as like a.
But they have done that a lot.
As a storytelling device.
But right, and they've polluted WrestleMania a lot at this point. So does WrestleMania start to lose its luster? Where like, and I'm not like, at this point it's basically the Super Bowl. So like, it gets sold out and everybody goes and people pay whatever ridiculous ticket prices.
Actually, I have a guy that works for me that told me today when I stopped in that him and his buddies all got they found, like, they didn't buy a WWE package, so they haven't bought a hotel yet. They haven't gotten a hotel room in Philadelphia yet, but they got SmackDown tickets. They got Monday Night Raw tickets, and they got tickets to both nights. And in tickets, it was $600 a person. So the trip's going to end up being about $800 a person, and they're going to be gone the whole weekend.
That's pretty incredible, actually. That's real cheap.
Just like did it on their own, like just pieced together the weekend, did it on their own.
I mean, I imagine they're probably going to sit behind pillars for something.
I mean, their seats are definitely going to be they're definitely going to be rough. I don't know that there's going to be any pillars. I don't think Lincoln Financial Field has pillar issues, but they're definitely they're definitely going to have some spectatorial view obstructions. And,
I mean, I hope they've got some
challenges.
serious. I hope they've got some decent binoculars and I don't know.
But yeah. I think you kind of expect something like that when you don't spend top dollar on WrestleMania.
Sure.
I think for the majority of us that is a WrestleMania trip, right? It is a less than ideal seat, but you go to be a part of that experience.
Dude, I'm gonna watch it at home with with wings and like beer, and it's gonna be a spectacular event because I'm
for sure
here in my nice warm house with my delicious wings. I'm gonna have paid no extra money at all.
I am gonna go to a WrestleMania, pal.
I mean, I'll probably come with you, but
I wanted to go this year, but it's
not. This is not the year, but soon, hopefully, maybe next year. I would like for it to be somewhere warmer than Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm into that.
Yeah, like if it's in like Tampa, let's fucking go.
Yeah, like it was the last 3 years.
Right. Yeah, like when it goes back to Tampa next year, maybe we'll go next year.
Nah, I think it's gonna go to London next year.
Well, I'm not going to London, but
nah, I'm not either. The flight by itself is gonna be just fucking.
Yeah, I'm not going.
I mean, we were complaining about fucking $40 AEW tickets. I'm not going to.
That's because AEW is not good.
Yeah, I had a guess at we'll talk off air. Remind me. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see what they end up doing with The Rock. I mean, I'm pumped about it. I think that if he can get himself in shape and shake off the ring rust from a promo standpoint, I think we're in for some fun going into WrestleMania if it lasts that long.
It could be cool. There's potential, and I feel like that's really that's where we are right now, right? Is that like it could go either way. It could be amazing. It could be garbage. I hope it's amazing for our sake, because as fans, I want this. Like, I fucking love The Rock. Are you kidding me? Love The Rock. Like, but I want it to be good. Like, I also know what sucks, and The Rock can suck. Like, he sucked before, and he could suck again. And like you said, I hope he knocks off the ring rust and it's all okay. But if he doesn't, and it sucks, I'm gonna say it sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the long and short of it, right?
It wasn't good.
It's real bad. That was oh my god, that was a very bad segment. Very bad. I don't want to see a segment like that again. Cut that shit out. No more of that Real American Hulk Hogan bullshit.
Yeah, it wasn't good, bro.
Like, cut that shit out. That shit doesn't fly in 2024. Don't do it again.
Wasn't good. Just wasn't good.
Buddy.
All right, you good? You want to wrap it up?
I'm good. Let's wrap it up.
Okay, well, I guess that means only one thing could happen here, huh? All right, bud. What's your match of the week?
My match of the week's an easy one.
First
actually.
match of 2024.
My match of the week was an easy one, actually. So my match of the week is Kevin Owens versus Santos Escobar.
That was a great match.
It was. I mean, it was. They gave it time. Both those guys are fantastic workers. Everything went great. Logan Paul on commentary, I thought was great too. I was into the whole thing, start to finish, and I watched everything live this week too, which is, it's pretty common, I guess, during the winter for me, but not a particularly common thing. Watched everything live this week, and live, just like off the tip of my tongue, how does this taste, kind of thing. That was the best match, and so for me, that was my match of the week. Couldn't have been better. Like you had discussed earlier, it maybe would have been better to give this more legs. Let Logan Paul and Kevin Owens do this at WrestleMania. But the fact that I'm going to get it, and it's such a weird clash of styles, but Kevin Owens is going to make it work, and Logan Paul's very good as well. I think it's going to be a really fun match. So I'm really excited. I love the Rumble. It's my favorite pay-per-view of the year.
Likewise.
This just kind of like it really just kind of put.
By the way, we need to try to cement our plans.
Well, we can talk about it after the show. Let's consider it, because we're only a couple weeks away.
Yes.
So yeah, that's really what I want, is just that to like stack and be great. So I hope that's a good Rumble match, but very excited about it just as a match on SmackDown. I had a great time with it. So that's my match of the week.
My match of the week also came from SmackDown, and it was the tag team match between Pretty Deadly and Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Listen, I really love Pretty Deadly, man. Like that, I'm bummed out that they jobbed to Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne.
They got some time there too.
They did.
That was sort of my like other thought. Like going into it, I was like, "Ooh, okay."
I really like that they put Butch and Tyler Bate together because they're a great tag team. Tyler Bate is a phenomenal in-ring talent, and I'm glad that he's getting the opportunity on the main roster here. And those guys have a chance to be a believable tag team, and believable tag team contenders. And clearly they don't have a direction for Pete Dunne right now as a single. That they threw him back in this. They've obviously moved Ridge Holland back to NXT to give him some time to kind of rediscover himself. Now
I feel like that's kind of necessary.
I mean, he broke Big E's neck. Let's not forget.
But at the same time too, like I feel like he needs to be able to work a strong big man style, but at the same time, he's just not safe enough to do it. And especially working.
Bums me out.
Yeah, but I totally agree. And I think some time in NXT is going to be good for him. I hope that he comes out of this and turns out, because like he could be a big star. Like he could totally be a really great, because I think his in-ring is great. I just think it's a little bit too sloppy.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I think that's really kind of where we are with that, is that he needs to take better care and learn how to take better care, because he is such a big man and he does have to use those big power moves. He really needs to be sure that everybody's going to wake up the next morning and walk out of bed 100% of the time.
Yeah, that's a thing. I don't know, man, but I really enjoyed that tag team match, and I'm really hoping that they keep Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne together and give them an opportunity to kind of let their tag team prowess show to the WWE universe, and allow those guys to get over so that they can both have quality singles runs later on down the line.
Well, and another thing that I really like about the two of them is, like, Pete Dunne tends to slow everything down and do the joint manipulation stuff, which, with the speed of how Tyler Bate works, really kind of meshes better than anything else. It's better than the big man, little man.
Yep. And Pete Dunne also, is a brawler and not much of a showman, and but he slows down and he does the joint thing, but like for the most part he's just 100 miles an hour beating the fuck out of you, and then he kicks that second and he manipulates the joints. But Tyler Bate's a showman as well.
He's a showman, and he's a showman of, like, he'll move real fast and then be like,
yep.
And
so they offset each other and they complement each other very well.
In a better way than Ridge Holland did, because I think that they kind of thought that might mesh with them, but it never really connected in the same way. And I think this could on the main roster. Now, I'm going to be honest, Tyler Bate needs to not wear white trunks because it looks like he's wearing a diaper. I'm just saying, I wasn't even the one that pointed this out. But watching with my girlfriend, she's like, "Why is that guy wearing a diaper?" And I went, "Not sure." She didn't know who he was. Why is that guy wearing a diaper? Anyway, sorry.
That's probably a fair assessment, especially from what I think in this instance we can call a casual fan.
Yeah, absolutely. Casually only watches when I'm like, I want to watch wrestling. I'm a big nerd.
So, all right, bud. I'm pretty good little. We had an appearance friend of the show, Derek, right?
Sure did. Thanks, Derek. Thanks for coming, Derek. It was nice
man. Thanks for fitting us into your fucking schedule.
It was nice to see him. It really was.
Yeah, let's put him over because he fucking did his job. I mean,
look, I can't fault him for going and being a girl dad. He did his job. What can I say?
Yeah.
Cheers to Derek.
Finally showed up to work first time in 12 weeks. Let's just fucking put him over,
Maybe if we keep putting him over, maybe he'll keep showing up.
Yeah, probably not.
Well, wishful thinking. Look,
listen, his ego. He. You know why he doesn't like Sasha Banks? Okay, because they're the same person. Okay,
I was gonna say because she's taller than him, but you're right.
They're the same person. Okay, as soon as things don't go Derek's way, he takes his ball and he goes home, and then he demands a ridiculous amount of compensation to return. And then. In the interest of fairness, I was just like, you know what, Derek, you're right, bud. I'm gonna give you a bigger piece of the pie, even though Tom and I fucking do all the heavy lifting. And half the time you don't even know what we're talking about. You go, huh? But in his mind, like, this whole thing doesn't go without him, and that's why he doesn't like Sasha, because they're the same human being.
Because Raw hasn't happened since Sasha Banks left.
Yeah.
And now it's boss time.
Yeah.
I hope she comes back. I hope she comes back tonight. I would love that. It keeps being Raw. I'll tell you what, Raw tonight has been a lot of recaps and like I know Kevin Dunn left and we didn't talk about it, but
we did forget to talk about Kevin Dunn.
But it's been a lot of like non-wrestling pieces.
Fuck it, let's talk about it right now, real quick. I mean, I didn't see any problem with the production on Friday.
No, I haven't either. There's been tons of production stuff going through. And I'm sure like this stuff all still has Kevin Dunn's fingerprints all over it because he just left. But
yeah, beginning of the year.
But at the same time, like, I mean, I don't think that, I saw a thing on the internet that was like,
Are we as marks just making a bigger deal about the TV producer retiring
I just don't think
than
it's a big deal. Yeah.
than needs to be made?
I was going to get to that. That's actually what I was saying. As I was seeing that on the internet, they were like, "Oh, Kevin Dunn left because he was a Vince McMahon guy and he felt disrespected." I'm just thinking that, like, he's probably 60-something years old, has millions of dollars in the bank, and looked at it and went, and somebody said to him, "Hey man, we want to change a bunch of this shit up," and he went, "You know what? I'm old. I don't want to learn new things. I'm just going to take my millions and go home."
And that's okay.
And he's still a stockholder. Like, that's okay. When you're old and you're done and things are changing and you have your money, go home.
But maybe it's not that. Maybe he was disrespected.
And even at that point, I don't care.
But I mean, to be fair, he did the job. You know what I'm saying? He transitioned the new regime. So, like, I mean, could it be that? Could he have been disrespected? Because he had an out fucking 6 months ago, and he just
sure did. No, and yeah, he stayed. He's totally stayed.
2 years ago at this point, a year and a half ago at this point.
Well, I'm just exactly. You're right. I mean, and he stayed. He stuck around. Look, he's still got plenty of stock in WWE. That's only going. He's got millions of dollars in the bank. I mean, he did a great job. Let's not like bemoan the job the guy did. Like, he did a fantastic job. I mean,
oh, for sure, nobody's talking that.
Nobody's done the job that Kevin.
Nobody
does.
doubts that. Not one bit.
WWE's
production values are so goddamn good; they're too good.
Exactly. Like, even if he was even if nobody liked,
I mean, somebody definitely has big shoes to fill. Let's not gloss over that. Like, the way how seamlessly the show runs, okay, is a testament to fucking Kevin Dunn.
Absolutely. Right. And whomever takes over, we're not going to notice a huge difference, because whomever takes over was a guy who's been working.
Notice a pretty big difference on Friday with fucking Michael Cole and Wade Barrett and Michael Cole and Wade Barrett. That was Monday. Michael Cole and Wade Barrett fucking standing in the middle of the fucking ring on the hard intro. I mean, that was different. We haven't seen that since Vince McMahon was the executive producer.
That's true. But, I think they're just trying new stuff. And, to see Kevin Dunn go, I think it's fun.
That's good shit, pal.
I think it's time for a change, though. Like, let's be fair. Kevin Dunn had his things. They were
Welcome to Monday Night Raw.
But like I said, Kevin Dunn had his things, and he did a good job with plenty of them. But at the same time, like, maybe it's time for a change.
I get so goddamn disappointed whenever I try to pop you and it doesn't work.
No,
it just takes my soul leaves my body, right? Like, that would have popped Derek. That's cheap heat to get Derek to pop. Like, I even hit you with an uncultured swine earlier while you just fucking know.
I rolled over it. I know.
Like, I had some good ones on you tonight. And I think I only got you once out of the 7 or 12 or 32 that I attempted today.
Look, and we still went 2 hours. I knew how much there was on this docket.
Oh, and yeah. That motherfucker's like, we don't have nothing to talk about.
And I knew
hey, bub, we haven't done a show in fucking 3 weeks.
I knew I had to keep a razor focus, because if I didn't, you and Derek especially.
And then Derek and I we tried to rattle your cage early too, and you weren't having it.
No, I knew we had to talk about.
You weren't having it at all. I thought for sure as soon as you let the words "decent match" Daniel Garcia slip out in the same sentence, I thought I had you. And like, you just barreled right through all of it, man. Like, I'm proud of you, bud. Okay, because Derek and I laid it on you for a good 6 minutes.
You sure did. And I was like, I really don't like Daniel Garcia this much to talk about this.
And like, you stayed the course. I was proud of you.
That's because I knew if I let it fall off the rails, I was going to continue to have to like talk about Daniel Garcia and maybe defend him. And I was like, I don't think I want to do that. So
I'm proud of you, pal.
Thank you.
We're pushing too. We're at 159. A little bit of a long show, but we had a lot to talk about. We've been a couple weeks, and the gang was all here for the first show at 24. So I mean, that's like W's all around, right? check us out over on fucking Twix and Instagram at @1_fall WC. That's ONE. Hey man, if you're still hanging out with us, man, we appreciate you. You gotta hit that thumbs up button. Maybe even like the little thing that says subscribe.
And hit the bell too, because like
Yeah.
you get a notification. We only notify you like maybe twice a week at the
Yeah.
most.
Sometimes, you know, if I'm into the good, maybe 3. But even that's pushing it.
It's really like maybe that'll happen once a year.
You know, so like hit the bell. We're not gonna blow up your phone with push notifications, okay? Promise. I promise.
We would never.
Scout's honor. Right? Yeah, man. It was good to have the band back together. Glad we got to do a full show, and I got to drink some Buffalo Trace. I'm sorry that offended you and made you sad, made you bummed out.
It made me bummed out. Is that's because I don't have any, and like I've mostly cut out the whiskey for a while. But if I walk into the liquor store occasionally, you know, buy wine as Christmas presents or whatever. I don't drink wine, but if I saw Buffalo Trace, I'd be like, I always walk through.
I got an old-fashioned smoker at the company Christmas party. Oh,
no, you did. Okay, I need to have a smoked old-fashioned Buffalo Trace. I just need. I'm sure it'll change my life.
Listen, I make my own simple syrup, right? Listen, we'll talk about this after I hit the end button.
Hit the button, yeah.
Tantalize your taste buds.
Hit the 2-hour mark, because there's nothing I'd love more than that right now.
Well, we already did. We're about to be at 2:01. Hey, check us out. Fucking, you know, we appreciate you. You know, all that being said, it's all love. Thanks for hanging out. Catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast. Waffle. 2 hours. Hey, man, Derek, shut up.